The top 2 artists from this round will move on to the third and final round, where one artist will be crowned the Boston City champion and will move on to the Nationals on April 2nd in Wichita Falls, Texas. That's going to be super exciting. So we're really, really high stakes tonight. In round number 1, we've got David Edmundson, Vita Mironova, Narvicto DeJesus, Fallon Rae, Howie Green, and Jordan Gagne. So all of these artists have earned their spot in this Boston City Championship, either through winning at events or just through an incredible performance at the events leading up to this one. They've earned their place as champions and all-stars, and we'll see who is the most champion of them all, who comes out on top. And it is up to you guys to vote at artbattle.com/vote. Every vote counts. And you can help support these guys. And I have just been joined by Art Battle co-founder Chris Pemberton. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Morgan. How are you?
So good. Really excited for tonight. Got 6 artists in round number 1, all winners and champs.
All right. I can't wait. This is going to be an amazing night for live art. This is the second of our championship events. We had our first one on Saturday night in Seattle, and this is the second one. So very exciting night. One of these painters is going to go to the national championships.
So stoked. So here we're seeing David Edmundson, who is known for his pour painting technique. So it looks like he's getting wild over there with the pour painting already.
All right. I can't wait to see what he does. He just absolutely crushed it in his last event. So we are very excited to see him paint tonight.
Yeah, and we're one of the interesting things about David's paintings is that they're often like he's applying the paint, but just through sheer gravity and the movements that he's making, and just the flow of the paint itself. The painting is painting itself, also.
Yeah, it's quite an amazing technique. We saw him get honestly so many finished paintings out of the same canvas during the 20 minutes. It was just so excellent. He really knows what he's doing, and he definitely makes the paint work for him too. So that is it's just a treat to be able to watch him paint here along with all these other extremely talented artists tonight.
Oh, and I'm loving those. Got some periwinkle dots happening there. I'm interested to see how those flow into each other. Okay.
Knowing his style, they could go anywhere. So this is going to be great.
And I believe that this is Vita Mironova. And Vita's one of my favorites. I know are we as hosts allowed to have favorites?
I think it's only human to have favorites,
right?
For sure.
Vita's one of my favorites. She's just one of the best figurative knife painters that I've seen. Her application technique is just so good.
Yeah, she's so skilled, and it looks like her reference is actually a test painting that she did, which is very interesting to see too.
Oh, I always love that.
Yeah, it's great. She is so good with the palette knife, and there's no doubt that she is going to bring this crow or raven to life completely here within the 20 minutes. So great.
Yeah, she has this really cool technique of being able to load the blade of the knife with different colors and kind of merging them onto the canvas. I'm used to seeing with knife work that usually artists are picking up one color, but we're seeing her picking up multiple.
Yeah, she's definitely a seasoned veteran when it comes to palette knives. I'm sure that she has been working with them for a very long time with the amount of skill that she's got, for sure.
And I believe that we'll be moving over to Narvicto in just a moment. There he is. Narvicto's work is
Narvicto
always so
is,
fun.
yeah, it's so fun. He does such a great job of bringing something to life in a sort of an illustrative, comic-y style, and tells his paintings tell a story too, which is very cool.
Yeah, I love the narrative quality of his work is always so interesting. And he's illustrative, but also very painterly at the same time. I think that's a blend that you don't necessarily see often, at least in Art Battle, is we get these really stylized illustrative lines, but then a very painterly application of the color over top of that and working within that.
Yeah, absolutely. He does such a good job, and you can see already that this piece is going to be a statement piece for sure.
And then we've got Fallon Rae over here. And Fallon is really well known for creating these gorgeous galaxies. And oh, yeah, there she is. She's going in with her hand again. And I remember seeing her do this technique for the first time. And I was wondering how she was getting all these beautiful soft blends. And it's that she's actually using the tips of her fingers to warm the paint a little bit and meld it together. It's so cool.
That is very cool. Love to see a painter get in there with their hands, as long as they know what they're doing, of course. We see all sorts of applications of paint, people using their hands, and it's so nice to see someone who knows what they're doing and using their hands as another tool. They don't have to pack as many brushes.
They don't have to pack as many brushes. That's
That's
such a
right.
perfect commentary. I love it's always kind of cool seeing an artist walk in with either way too many brushes or no brushes. Both are statement.
Yeah,
And so now
definitely.
at easel number 5, we've got Howie Green. And Howie has done some really interesting work here. He's created an abstract color background with tons of colliding colors. And what he's doing now is carving silhouettes out of that almost with black paint. So he's out creating these outlined shapes that are full of these kind of collisions of color.
Yeah, very interesting approach. So it's one of the great things about Art Battle is we get to see in each round we get to see six different approaches to a painting and six different styles and six different processes. So it's so cool to watch them create like this, and it's just a real treat to have all these awesome painters on display for us.
Absolutely. You're seeing just a range of technique, you're seeing a range of inspiration. There's always just so much going on. And we're lucky enough that we're seeing not only all of these different approaches, but the best approaches that have been proven over this season. So we've really got the cream of the crop going on. And at easel number 6, we've got Jordan Gagne. And Jordan looks like she's doing some sort of maybe Egyptian inspired illustrative piece here of a
Yeah,
Cyclops woman in just really careful black line work so far.
yeah, very careful work there, and we saw a painting like this before at Art Battle Boston. I think it was probably from her, and the Cyclops figure is very interesting.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think that was her. And I'm seeing kind of a very similar companion piece here. And we're only halfway through, and it looks really carefully executed so far. So we're at about the halfway mark here. We've got 9 minutes left on the clock. And we would love to have you guys voting out there in the internet, head on over to artbattle.com/vote, where you can register to vote. Vote for your favorite artists. The top 2 will move on to the third and final round. And all of these pieces are also available for silent auction, and we will ship them to you.
That's right. A great way to work on to add to your collection of paintings, or if you don't have any, a great way to start with a piece that you have the full story to, that you've seen created in front of you. So don't be shy to put a bid in there. As Morgan says, we will ship the paintings. So no problem wherever you're watching from.
Wow. And here we are with David Edmundson again, and his pour painting, and those 6 dots that we saw last time we were at David's easel have now turned into these beautiful flowers, just bursting with color and these really soft petals.
Very interesting. I wonder if he's going to tilt and slide his paint on this.
So cool.
That's something that we've seen him do in the past, is use gravity as one of his tools, and so be very interesting to see what he does. These flowers look very intentional, and as if they're going to stay right there. But one thing that we know about David is that his paintings change as you're watching them, so it'll be very interesting to see what he does.
Yeah, David is one of my favorite performative artists in Boston. Absolutely. Always bringing us these curveballs and surprises with the way that he's applying this paint. I'm not overly familiar with how to do pour painting myself, other than I've done it one time and I was epically terrible at it, like truly, truly bad.
Oh yeah.
It's way harder than you would think.
Yeah, it looks easy, but it is definitely not easy to do, for sure. It takes a lot of practice to be able to move such a sloppy body of paint around the way that you want and come out with something that looks intentional. It takes a lot of practice.
Yeah, it's almost like with more traditional painting techniques, you just have so much more control. And then with pour painting, you're taming the paint that you've already let out.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can't wait to see the final result here of David's painting. He's always got something crazy up his sleeve, so it's going to be quite good. This first round is off to a great start, and just over the halfway mark now.
Ooh, a nail biter in Boston.
If you're not in the Wichita Falls area, you can watch the event on a live stream, and you can also vote and bid.
Oh, so good.
It's going to be great.
And Chris, I believe that we've had a little bit of a refresh, if you want to.
Yeah, I'm back on here.
Okay, great.
I'm seeing the video.
Oh, man.
I'm looking at Vita right now.
This purple into the plumage of this raven is just so beautiful. Just really picking up on those subtle tones.
It's really nice. I wonder if she's going to leave the white space as it is, or if she is going to get in there with a wider palette knife and clean it up.
Yeah, we'll see. 4.5 minutes left on the clock. That's not a ton of time, but you really can get a lot done. You can really easily, or not easily, but you can hone in a painting, and you can also ruin it. The last 4 minutes are really a nail biter.
Definitely. Well, one thing that can happen is that you start doubting yourself and whether or not you can finish the painting that you had intended to complete. And so the question remains, do you try and change something with your painting at the last minute or not? And that can go surprisingly well or surprisingly poorly. So it's very interesting to see what happens in the last This piece is almost going to have a sort of an optical illusion quality to it.
Oh, that's a good prediction. Okay, and here we are back with Kenard.
Yeah, he's got some shapes coming out on top of his background.
Yeah, just carving that out. I'm wondering, I feel like this might end up being a portrait. I'm getting the sense of a suit jacket. What do you think?
Hmm. Yeah, it looks like it looks like it could be. It's not centered on the canvas the way that a portrait usually is. Um, but it's going to be interesting to see what he does with this, if this is going to be a portrait piece or if it's going to be an abstract piece.
Yeah, there's got a really beautiful sense of atmosphere in there.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Okay, and here we are with Maggie MacMullin. And she's got this adorable little pooch happening and is using one of her own art pieces as a reference.
Hmm. Very interesting.
Beautiful.
I love seeing the climbers in the background here.
Yeah, that's so fun.
A truly unique art battle setting for sure.
And we've got these just painterly strokes in the fur of this little puppy dog. And I like that a lot of it is very purple, that a lot of the darks are leaning towards purple. I think that that's adding a lot of interest.
Sure, purple is the new black.
Purple is the new black. Okay, and I believe that we're here with John Haiduk now. So something super interesting with John is that he actually doesn't use brushes, like, at all.
Very interesting.
A lot of different application techniques coming from John Haiduk. Some knife work. Oh, we're seeing him applying, I think, with a piping bag right now. That's cool.
His paint is so thick on his canvas. I mean, this piece is going to take a week to dry.
Yes.
Definitely. Whoever buys this piece at auction is going to have to be very patient, as it's going to take a very long time to dry, or very carefully carry it home.
Yeah, and the heft of the paint just on the canvas itself is battling gravity a little bit on John's easel, and I do believe that that's intentional because John really loves to see where the paint is going in its own story. Very process-based artist.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
And here we are with Ananda Toulon, one of my Boston faves.
Ananda does absolutely great work. She is primarily a portrait painter, but she's always got a lot of flair and her own style, and presents her characters in a very interesting way.
Yeah, beautiful. Just her application style is so... It evolves from a softness into getting kind of louder with more texture and contrast, and I love the way that her pieces evolve.
Yeah, they're very cool, and she does a really great job over the 20 minutes. And as you say, she evolves her pieces, so it'd be very cool to watch her.
And we're just at about the halfway mark now. So if you are out there in the internets, head on over to artbattle.com/vote, where you can register to vote for your favorite artist from this round. The top 2 artists from this round will join the top 2 from round number 1. Everyone will go into a final round with a new canvas and another 20 minutes. So who do you want to see paint again? Who are you loving this round? Tell us in the comments wherever you're watching after you vote.
Absolutely. It's a big night here, so be sure to get your vote in at the end of this round, and make sure that you voted for the first round to help us choose who is going to go through into the final, and then ultimately who is going to be flown to Texas to represent Boston in the national championships.
Oh man, that's going to be such a great show. So, so exciting. High stakes tonight.
Definitely high stakes.
So now we're seeing John breaking out the knife and just sort of starting to cut into these globs of paint. I wonder if there's going to be any subtractive elements for this piece, or is it just building up?
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to put some scratch marks in there or pull some of the white space back through those globs.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely a way that we see artists performing at Art Battle often, is to get a lot of coverage and then to bring back some negative space or line work from the canvas. So it'll be very interesting. He has so much to work with right now. He's a pro, so he's going to be able to stay out of the mud. But one of the dangers that you have in having so much paint on your canvas is getting everything sort of messed together, and you get sort of a muddy quality to it that is definitely not what's intended. So hopefully he'll be able to stay out of that tonight.
Yeah, his work is very sculptural. All right, looks like we are having a hopefully brief issue with the Wi-Fi at the venue, and we should be back in just a few moments. Thanks everyone for bearing with us.
Yeah, just some unmagic of the internet going on here right now. Some unmagic. We are able to bring these events to you live using the power of the internet, but sometimes the connectivity doesn't go as planned, or there's a little technical issue, and we have to wait to see what's going on. But hopefully we'll be right back in there
My
soon.
feed has come back on if you want to give a refresh.
All right, let's have a look.
Oh, and wow, this is turning into a really beautiful piece from Kenard. Just really subtle. And we did get that suit jacket that we were looking for, Chris.
I don't have the feedback yet, but I'm not
Yeah,
surprised.
just cut out again, unfortunately.
Very interesting to watch the progression of these pieces. Hopefully we'll be back there soon to see the end of this round. Morgan, how much time is left?
We have 6 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the round, so these guys are just starting to kind of round the corner. Everyone's really committed to each of their pieces and is moving into kind of that honing stage. I would say the first 10 minutes are really, or the first 5 minutes you're establishing. The next 5 minutes you're starting to add in and hone that piece, and then the last 10 minutes are just go time.
Yeah, absolutely. And when I painted 20 minutes, I painted 4 5-minute segments. But I'm an abstract painter, and that's the way that I do it. But often these painters will practice by listening to the same music that they're going to hear at the event, or a lot of them work with headphones in, listening to their own music, which is another way to time the round.
Oh, great pro tip. And
yeah,
feed, looks like the feed is back here now. And we are headed over to hang out with Abigail once again. And we're seeing her doing that same dragging technique.
Yep, she's flipped her canvas upside down from the way it was before. And you can see that faded. Oh, look at this. She is now taking some of those lines back with white paint. It's
Cool.
really careful work here. You can see that she didn't get all the way across with the straight lines. She's got sort of a balance through unbalance approach to this, and she is taking some of that line work back, being so careful, wiping her knife between each stroke so she doesn't get the paint mixed, and it is working for her.
Yeah, the level of patience from Abigail is just admirable. really admiring those steady hands in this timed scenario, this timed pressurized scenario.
Yeah.
And here we are back with Bret.
His painting has changed completely. He started off with just green and black globs that looked like they covered the canvas, but he has managed to get so much different color and action going on here on this canvas. I'm really impressed.
Yeah, super exciting mix of colors here going on. Really loving that seafoamy green that we got in the beginning, just kind of peeking through all of the rest of these colors.
Yeah, it's very. He put it on thickly in the beginning, and or he put it on thick. I don't need to say thickly, but and now he's been able to. We haven't been with him the whole time, so we haven't seen. But he clearly has removed some of that paint.
Yeah, he's as we were talking about subtractive painting and wondering whether or not John was doing that. That's something that Bret does often, is just applying paint and then taking it back and just creating these really interesting layering techniques with the use of his silicone brushes.
Yeah, it's so cool. He gets such a very interesting effect that way.
Wow, just the subtlety of this portrait from Kenard is just really, really wonderful. And the way that those buttons are popping is everything to me in this painting.
No, it is very cool for sure. And I before I said that this piece, the portrait wasn't centered, but I see what he's doing now, and it is really balanced. It looks great.
And here we are hanging out with Maggie MacMullin again. And the puppy has turned into a space dog. So fun.
It's a space dog complete with alien ride-along, for sure.
Oh, man. This is alien ride-along. This is so fun. You can always count on Maggie for bringing a really whimsical piece to the easel. We've seen her do some really kind of tongue-in-cheek pieces before.
Yeah, that's such a fun piece, for sure. I really like it a lot. And here we are back with John, who is, as you say, never uses a brush. He's worked some line work into that thick amount of paint, and now he is, look out below, because he is splashing the paint on carefully, but still in sort of a wild manner.
Wow. It's such an aggressive technique, but I love it. And I also am grateful for all of the easels having a little bit of breathing room between them now. I don't think that if I think I'd be a little nervous if I was right beside John.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, that's a risk you take painting at Art Battle. If you're a painter and the painter next to you is working in a wild fashion, you better look out. So these painters are
Art
all
Battle.
aware of that, and they've worn their paint-friendly clothes. Although we see a mix. Sometimes we see artists with a lot of paint on their clothes. Sometimes we see artists that paint messy but are able to keep their clothes completely clean, which I don't know how they do that. But
Me neither. Oh, this portrait from Ananda it's come together in such a beautiful way. Her character has such luminance.
I love the flowers in the background. They really add to the piece.
Mm-hmm. And now we're getting kind of an overview of the round as we start to wind down.
Yep, 23 seconds, 22 seconds left. The energy in the room, you can just feel it at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. And in just a moment, I'm going to throw to the venue so we can get the countdown going.
Countdown. All right.
Oh, and Bret turning his canvas, too.
A good choice. It looks really great that way.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. Wild whoops and hollering and tons of applause For our second round artists from the crowd in the room, looks like a great crowd. Everyone seems really excited and engaged.
Yeah, they are sold out there tonight as per usual in Boston. That venue is it's not one of our larger venues, so it's definitely it's fully packed, sold out to the brim, and the energy in the room is just amazing.
Wow. Just so impressed with all of these artists tonight. Everyone has really brought their A game. You can tell that so many of them have planned and really carefully thought out their battle strategies. And everyone's just brought a really wonderful, unique energy and sense of courage to the easel tonight.
It is a real pleasure and a treat to watch, and an honor to work with these painters for sure. So now is the time to get your vote in there. Remember, the top two painters from this round will go through to the final round and battle against the top two painters from the first round. We don't know who the winners are from the first round yet. We're going to find out all four winners at the same time here. So it's done that way so that it's fair in allowing the painters all four painters, the same amount of time to prepare for the final round. So the winners from the first round and the second round will be announced together. It'll be done in about, they're moving pretty quickly here tonight, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's done in about 5 minutes, but 5 or 10 minutes till we find out who the winners are once all the votes are in there. And then they will set up their palettes. They'll move two of the easels. We'll have just 4 easels, and we'll be ready for the final round, and I cannot wait.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a nail-biter here tonight. It's hard to
Absolutely. A
choose.
lot
It's
on
hard
the
to
line.
choose.
It's hard to choose here. I haven't voted yet. I don't know who I'm going to vote for in this round.
I know, me neither.
It's going to have to take a look at the pieces and choose the painter that you want to see paint again. So it is, as we say, it's one thing to do one painting, but it's quite another to do 2 paintings. And so as the viewing audience, you get to help choose who you get to see create again. It's not just about the finished painting, it's about watching the painter do their work. So who did you like watching? Who do you want to see painting again? That's the choice that you have to make.
And we will be back in just a few minutes as these guys count the votes. And don't you forget to vote for your favorite artist as well.
All right, stay with us. The best round is still to come, the final round of the Art Battle Boston Championships. This is our second championship event of the season. We had one on Saturday night in Seattle, the Washington State Finals. And this is the second. So we are slowly going through the best of the best here, choosing who's going to represent the different cities and regions at the national championships. So very exciting night. Don't go anywhere. Maybe get yourself a drink, but stay with us for the final round.
Okay, so tell your name and then what inspired you to paint what you painted today.
Sure. I'm Maggie MacMullin. Today I painted my dog in a spaceship. One day I saw him sitting in his little bed in silver colored, and I sent a Snapchat with like the drawing of the alien in the spaceship. So I thought that'd be fun today.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
And send me these.
Yes.
I'll add them to the site as well.
Awesome. So we'll do right here. Yeah. So you guys can sit right here together. Actually, we can make it together. Get a little bit closer if you could. Okay, awesome. So so I think it's going to be live streaming right now. So say your name, introduce yourself, and then what you painted and how was the process today.
My name is Bret Weese, chaosartdesigns. Today I painted abstract, could be flipped horizontal or vertical, and the process I used was picking a color palette that worked good together, some darks with some poppy colors, and I used a couple metallic paints so it have some flex in it, and then I just kind of let it, freestyled it and let it build itself as I went.
Nice. Thank you.
My name's Kenard Smith. I do the ceiling man today. Normally I'm do bright colors, but today I took some laid back and used some browns and undertones. I'm excited for it.
So your painting was smoking, right? Were you afraid that it was going to catch on fire? No. Awesome. So why should people come to our battle and see you guys paint?
It's a great experience. It's something new I never knew about until I came to Boston, so I'm happy to see what it is.
Awesome.
It's a good way to meet a lot of new artists and see what the local scene is offering. A good way to pick up a painting and meet the artist if you're a connoisseur of painting and art and want to add to your collection. And it's a great place to come grab a good beer too.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That's it. Nicole, you want to talk to them also?
Yeah, but she's waiting for a while. Are you guys here for a while?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys mind coming through again in like a few minutes? Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you. Oh, let me. I'll do you now.
Thanks. So I was on the second one.
It's a beautiful room, right? Do you remember the first time we met?
I remember the first competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. I think this is live streaming at this moment. So I just say who you are, what you painted today, and your inspiration behind it.
I'm Abigail Williams. I painted an abstract linear piece because I really wasn't feeling like rushing today. And I wanted the color to speak for itself and the texture as well, and the process. I think something about the gravity is what I was trying to capture. I think I did all right.
What was the music and the atmosphere behind you?
Pretty spirited. I think the audience seemed pretty engaged in what everybody was doing. I've seen different formats of art battle before where people were moving as opposed to static, but I think it's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So we got a few photographers. We'll send you all the pictures. Thank you. She's going to do something also very similar. Have you talked to her yet?
No.
Yeah. You could either come back here or but you know what she looks like.
I love the earrings.
Here, take it of this.
Yes.
Colorful creation. Number 3 is Ananda Toulon. The still lives, the portraits. She loves creating art that makes people smile. These are four is the talented Maggie MacMullin.
Okay, let's paint. And we are off at the third and final round for this Art Battle Boston City Championship. My name is Morgan Booth. I'm here with Art Battle co-founder Chris Pemberton. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Morgan. I cannot wait for this final round.
Woo! Oh, man. It's, I gotta say, I'm really happy with everybody that made it through. I think very well-deserved final round. We have David Edmundson and Narvicto DeJesus from round number 1, and Ananda Toulon and Maggie MacMullin from round number 2.
This is great. I mean, these are the painters that, based on their first paintings, the audience wants to see a second painting from, and so do we. So I cannot wait to watch this round. We are going to see 4 very interesting, very different paintings, and it is going to be a tough choice for the audience and for our viewers here with us today to pick who is going to go to the national championship and represent Boston.
Oh man, I can't believe in just over 20 minutes we'll know who from Boston is going to nationals. It's so exciting.
So exciting. They're going to be flown down to Wichita Falls, Texas. The event is April 2nd, and we have a really vibrant art battle community in Wichita Falls, and they have come through with everything needed to host a really smashing art battle national championship. We are so happy to be going there. We're so happy to be working with Bob and Debbie in Wichita Falls and the Wichita Falls Art Association. So it's going to be great, and one of these 4 painters is going to be there.
Can't wait. And here we are with David. starting his pour technique. This is great. I don't know if we've ever seen the very beginning of his pour yet.
No, I don't think we have. This is very interesting. And what we've seen from David in the paintings that we've seen, the two paintings from the event that he won, and the first painting here tonight, and now the second painting, always something. He's a pour painter, but it does such different work. Everything is so different, and it is just going to be incredibly interesting to see what he comes up with. And of course, now here we are with Narvicto. Now, Narvicto is a very illustrative, sort of a comic book style, and his paintings always tell an interesting story and have a very clear narrative. He always brings it, and it's going to be very cool to see what he comes out with here. No way to tell early on from these early brush strokes, but his painting is going to evolve in front of our eyes.
So I am just hearing from ABHQ that we actually have 30 minutes on the clock for this final round.
That's right. 30 minutes for all championship final rounds, including the national championship final round. You know what? I forgot that too. I was using that, but that is really cool. It will allow these championship painters to get even more detail and studio quality work out of their canvases. So I'm really stoked for this.
Oh, me too. And 30 minutes it's a gift and it's a challenge too, because 10 minutes, 10 extra minutes, that's a whole third more of a round.
Yeah.
So are you in your space where you're really used to doing the 20-minute ones now? Are you worried that you're going to overpaint? Are you going to get too confident and paint more slowly? It's such a fun element to be added to this. And it really gives us an opportunity to see these guys stretch themselves just that little bit more.
I think the extra time is going to be really helpful for Narvicto and Ananda, just in the way that they, the style of paintings that they do. I think having the extra time is just going to allow them to add much more detail and precision to their pieces. So I think that it's going to be really beneficial for them. I don't know if the extra 10 minutes will be as beneficial for David in his style. We'll see what he does as we're watching here. Of course, his paintings completely change over the course of the time, so it'll be very interesting to see. Who are we watching right now?
We are with Maggie MacMullin.
We're with Maggie, and she is painting a hand on here. And just at the very beginning, you see her reference photo above is of a hand, but the way that she has painted it, she has left more than half of the canvas empty. So I think we're going to see more than what's in the reference photo here on her canvas.
Yeah, so I'm definitely getting the kind of art historical reference of this specific hand pose. I think that the painting is called The Hand of God. Am probably wrong about that, but you guys know what it is. You know what it is, right? Everybody knows that gesture.
We know which painting you're talking about. And that is definitely something that we see here. Of course, as we say, these artists have all trained. Most of them have gone to art school. They have so much knowledge to draw on that we often see references to great paintings. Not only that, sometimes we see replicas of famous paintings painted at Art Battle. I've seen the Pearl more than once. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out here.
Yeah, and Maggie is so whimsical and funny. I'm really sure that she's going to bring something awesome and surprising into that kind of conversation that she's got going. And
definitely.
Here we are with Narvicto, and I'm not seeing the usual kind of instructive lines that we get. It looks like he's starting with the painterly approach, and is probably going to add in those defining lines after.
Yeah, usually he starts by outlining his characters or whatever it is that he's painting, but he's definitely started a little bit differently this time.
Ooh, we're getting into some technique here with David.
Oh, very interesting. Now, what we've seen tonight from David is he hasn't done he hasn't been sliding his paint around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
In previous battling, in his winning painting from the art battle that he was the champion of, we saw him use gravity to slide his paint along. But tonight he's creating with it just laying still, and he is putting on more finished touches right from the bottle. So it'll be very interesting to see what he does. He's always a crowd favorite. One thing about him is that people just love to watch him paint.
Yeah, and right now I'm seeing him laying down that chain, that ball chain that I've seen him use in a previous event, and he's just pulling it, and the colors are just melding into each other. This is so cool. I'm so glad that the camera person has decided to bring us here for this moment.
Yeah, it's very awesome. I mean, these techniques, I'll tell you that, there's not a lot of people teaching pour painting. This is something that you have to work on yourself in the studio and sort of teach yourself. And so the techniques that David is using, the tools that he's using, these are all creations of his own. And so very interesting to watch paint. It's just fascinating.
All right, and here we are back with Narvicto, adding in some really gorgeous golden hues. And if you check out his palette, this palette is robust. This is a very impressive palette.
I'm surprised he can carry that. I mean, that is a heavy amount of paint that he's got going on there. But
maybe he's been a server in a past life.
He could have been. Maybe he is right now. Who knows? Not all painters are able to do their work full time. But this is very interesting.
He's got a strong wrist.
You sort of see the figure here coming out. It's hard to see where the face is going to be, though. I'm just going to put a face on there. But again, a sort of a different approach from him. He's taking advantage of the 30-minute time, as we thought that he would.
Yeah, and I love that we can see the clock for the countdown at the venue. So now we're at the 20-minute mark. So these guys officially have used their gifted extra 10 minutes, and now they're into the regular 20-minute slot. So interesting to see how these strategies that they've laid down for the first 10 minutes are going to play out for the next 20.
Yeah, very interesting. And we see that they've used the time well. They got sort of a head start on the 20 minutes, and now we see usually Ananda paint a female figure. It's hard to tell if it's male or a female or a non-binary figure that we've got going on here. But very interesting with the blue skin tone. I know that's something, Morgan, that you like a lot.
That's my favorite.
That's your favorite. So it'd be very interesting to see how she fills out her canvas. And this figure, again, with the extra time, she is going to be able to refine the feet so well. It's going to be awesome to watch.
Yeah, these beautiful dashing strokes, creating this beautiful sense of direction in what I feel like is a scarf wrapping around the figure, but could be some other element. Just always love watching Ananda's pieces evolve. They go from kind of softer and a little bit more translucent, and just to keep building up over time. This really beautiful depth in her figures.
Yeah, it is very awesome to watch her paint, and she does get depth in all of her figures. She paints portraits mostly, but they all look so different from each other. That is it's so interesting. And I didn't see her with a reference. Did you?
No, I haven't seen it, but I know that she's used some previously.
Yeah. Here we are with Maggie right now, and she has worked for 10 minutes on this hand, and we're seeing her just working sort of on the shading. Now, a hand is something that is very difficult to paint. It is one of the the more advanced things that you learn to paint. You don't learn to paint hands right away when you're starting out. So
And
be a very bold choice for her to go with that right now.
And especially in this very specific, recognizable gesture, only in black and white and without the context of a body or clothing to kind of cover up any mistakes. So she's got to be really, really tight on this, and it looks like she has been. She's used that extra 10 minutes to bring the strategy to being able to execute a hand in a timed manner.
And it's interesting. I wonder what she's going to do with the rest of the canvas.
We're seeing a really limited palette from her. It could be that she has more colors down below, but I only saw black and white and a hit of yellow, so we'll see where that goes. But here we are back with Ananda.
Ananda, and she's put the eyes in since we were with her last. She did that really quickly.
Yeah, and beautiful, kind of just not overpainted either. These just gorgeous lash lines in these stylistic lines.
Yeah, very interesting. This definitely, I wasn't sure, but it's definitely a female character. It looks almost like Audrey Hepburn.
Oh, totally.
Now, I don't remember Audrey Hepburn being blue, but the artist has free reign to create whatever reality they want. So it's interesting to see what's going on there.
What is happening with Narvicto? What's going on with this piece? I want to feel more clued in to where he's going, but he's done a really cool strategy here in that he's not added the guiding lines that we're used to, and I feel like he's keeping us guessing a little bit more.
Yeah, usually you can tell earlier on from what he's painting for sure, but this piece is still a mystery. We're at the halfway mark now. The painters have just over 15 minutes left, and this is still a mystery. Of course, one of the beautiful things about Art Battle is that we don't have themes because we want the artists to paint the paintings that they are passionate about. We want artists to bring their own history, skills, and passion to the canvas. So it could be just about anything.
And talk about passion here with David. Wow, so many colors going on, and we're seeing him starting to kind of meld them and knit them together.
Yeah, very interesting what's going on there with David. He's got so much color. His paint is like a pond of color. So it'll be very interesting what he does. Also, how he slides that paint around. We know he likes to get action in there. Those lines that he's put in there are not going to stay. He is going to change them up. And you can see him working right now with what looks like a funky palette knife.
Yeah, this is
He's
cool.
working on. He's laid down the paint, and now he is going to work with it. And he definitely has enough time to get something out of this.
Yeah, such an interesting technique and requiring so much control after the fact, which is so interesting.
Yeah.
And I just got some really cool intel, a little reminder from our voting manager, Gina, that she is reminding us that Ananda and Maggie were both winners of last month's battle, and here they are again in the final together.
Rematch.
Rematch.
Yeah, and Ananda was the winner, I believe, right? Is that right?
It was Ananda and Maggie.
It was.
So,
That's amazing.
Yeah, so cool.
We have some solid line work coming in from Narvicto.
Yes, we're getting those curvilinear, stylized black lines that are just really kind of bringing us as viewers into the story of what this piece is.
Yeah, absolutely. He's flushed it out, and we're able to see more of what he's working on. He's definitely taken advantage of the time, calculated that he could use a different approach. This from Ananda is some sort of scarf. look at that earring, the way that it popped out there. Just so cool. Her use of color is so wise. She knows how to get the most out of the contrasts.
Yeah, absolutely. Just so beautiful the way that she uses contrast. And then the subtlety that she can get out of the textural elements that she's adding on later and later. Just so interesting to me. And this beautiful blush over top of the blue skin tone must have been, that's a really skillful application there.
Absolutely. So difficult to work wet paint on wet paint in a short time frame, but she is not daunted at all by that. She really got a great sense of what she can and can't do, and there's not much she can't do. She can do pretty much everything.
And back with Maggie now, still working on refining this hand. I think we have 12 minutes left on the clock.
I think so. She's done a great job. This hand has really come to life. You can see the veins and the tendons in the hand. She's done just a great job of bringing this hand to life. Again, with a very limited palette. She's got some yellow on there that she hasn't brought in here yet on her palette. It'll be interesting to see if she does this whole painting in grayscale, though.
Yeah, and just the way that she's popping the highlights, so important. You're really getting a great sense of the light source playing on this hand.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I'm so curious about if she's going to refine this hand for the whole 30 minutes, or if she's going to bring something else in on the canvas that we can see. You can see her reference right above there, and it only has the hand. So an interesting choice here. It is balanced, but there's definitely room. Here we go.
Here we go.
I love it. I love it when we're with
oh
a
no,
painter
camera
for
guys,
the magic stroke moments.
Oh wow, and it is just, oh my gosh, the way that she's fleshed out this clothing is gorgeous.
Yeah, the only thing missing from this painting right now is some watercolory type drips. I would love to see that.
I feel like you're gonna get your wish, Chris.
I hope so, because that I really love to see like different approaches and styles within one painting, different effects, different uses of the space. And so it'll be very interesting to see that. But very happy with this piece so far. Ananda definitely knows what she's doing, and she, as we thought that she would, she's using the extra time to her advantage in bringing this character really to life.
And here we are back with Narvicto.
Yeah. One thing that Narvicto does is he does not abide by reality. Narvicto creates his own universe, and the characters within it and what they can do just does not abide by our own regular laws of physics or reality. So very interesting. We have a heat gun from David here.
Yeah, that's a mini blowtorch. Don't tell our insurance.
Way to take advantage of the open mediums and tools rules here. He's getting a very interesting effect with that, and we'd be interested to see. He's got about, what do we have, about 10 minutes left now?
I think we've got about 8. And
8 minutes.
I believe that he's using the blowtorch to kind of push the paint a little bit, but also maybe stop it where it is. I know that our voting manager, Gina, is experienced with pour painting. So, Gina, if you have any insights for this, I'd love to pass them on to the stream.
Absolutely. Going to be very interesting what he does. Still has a lot of room to move here, and we're seeing him going in now carefully around the edges with a palette knife. There's an effect that he wants. He's going for it.
Mm-hmm. And now we're getting this. It was such a thoughtful comment from you, Chris, about Narvicto and his bending reality to his will. It's so interesting as an illustrator for him to be embodying also the surrealist space.
Absolutely. They tell such a story, and he's very good at that. And I love the way that he has altered his approach to canvas in the 30 minutes rather than the 20 minutes by blocking out all the colors first and coming in with the detailed lines afterwards. You can see him there with a finer brush, marking out some hands. So here we go with Ananda. She's filled in. She had some white space there, and she's filled it in with yet another color here. She is using every color at her disposal.
And yet somehow it's still not too much. It's just still very much in balance and harmony.
Yeah, I love the way that the scarf is painted in sort of a splotchy manner. It really gives the feel of movement to the piece, and sort of a flickering, just the way that the light is getting that. Is done a great job at depicting sort of a figure in a real space. Brought this into a three-dimensional plane.
Yeah, totally stunning. That kind of the dappling in the background has just created, it's taken it from just being a portrait to being a person in a scene.
Yeah.
Okay,
absolutely.
Maggie,
Now,
what's the reveal?
Maggie,
what are we getting?
What's going on here?
I'm still not sure.
No, it is hard to tell. Use that space. She's brought in some shapes and some black background, but it is difficult to see exactly what that is supposed to be. She's got a few minutes left here to tighten that up, and I'm sure we're going to see that from her. She is still a little bit fixated on the hand and the exact dimensions of it. She wants it to be perfect.
Yeah, she's also adding in a neutral for the background, which I think is just going to help everything pop. And it looks like she's just chipping that in with a flat to really tidy up those edges of that hand there.
Yeah, for sure. The one thing that we see is artists, they know their brushes, and they change your brushes depending on which part of the painting that they're working on. And it's really cool to see that. But I don't think that she's going to put a background up close to the hand. I don't think she's going to risk it.
Oh, so close. I think that we have about 3 minutes remaining. So we just want to remind you guys to make sure that you vote. Every vote really, really does count. And the winner of this round will be moving on to the national championship on April 2nd. So definitely make sure that you go to artbattle.com/vote. And these pieces are also available for auction. So if you want to get a little wild, place some bids tonight, we will ship them to you.
Absolutely. The auction is going very well for these works here so far tonight. The high bid of the night is $450 on Maggie's second round piece. And almost all the other pieces have multiple bids on them. So get in there and take one of these home. Of course, we will ship it to you. Bidding is also open for the third round. You can see that Narvicto already has a bid on his piece. So take the time to get in there and make a bid, and you will be notified if you are outbid. And it's very exciting. And also, as Morgan said, if you haven't already, please go to artbattle.com/vote and register to vote, because right now we are about to choose who from Boston goes to Texas to represent at the national championships.
When we were just treated to the final scenes of Narvicto's piece. We're back with David now, but I did want to say that I saw the way that Narvicto's piece was turning out, and it looked like somebody in a frog suit giving a little kiss to a monkey. So cool, so unexpected, so sweet.
Where does he come up with this?
Right? I know. I wanna hang out with Narvicto. Narvicto, when next time I'm in Boston, we want to hang out. We want to pick your brain. We want to see where these come from.
It's so cool and creative. We've seen so many different realities and from him. So very cool, and it was very interesting to watch the way that he painted this one tonight.
Yeah, and really tight application as well. I think that he got those black lines on at the exact point when those washes had dried fully. So beautifully, beautifully tightly executed.
Yeah, really cool.
Okay, so we're seeing the blending of this background merging into kind of a gradient between the hand and could it be paper that's being handed?
I don't know, but I'm surprised that she has been brave enough to go up close to the hand with her background. So
yeah, and
very
really
interesting.
and to do that soft blend too in such a short amount of time remaining. Usually we see people deal with their background as something really quickly to get it out of the way.
1 minute left now. Yeah, she doesn't have a lot of time left to blend that background, but she's done a very interesting job. All four paintings are so different from each other. That's one of the beautiful things at Art Battle is so many different styles and so many different creations. These painters all bring their individual spice to the competition. So it's going to be very interesting. This is going to be a really tough vote for the audience there and for you guys who are with us online to choose who is going through. These people are so good. We've only got 14 seconds left on the clock. They're counting down. Let's throw over to the venue audio.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ooh, and that marks the end.
All right.
The end of the final round of the Boston City Championship. As the votes pour in, you guys will help us determine who will be representing Boston in the national championship.
Well, we're going to find out soon, and I got to tell you that it's going to be close. Every vote counts. I'm trying to make up my mind right now who I want to see in Texas. It is a very tough choice. We have four different, very, very different paintings. We have that beautiful pour painting with a sort of a butterfly flower figure from David. We have Narvicto's very whimsical monkey kissing a frog, somebody in a frog suit. Very well painted, very clean. We have Amanda's beautiful portrait of a woman. I think maybe she's wearing a sari, but she's looking off in the distance, and the light plays so well there. And we have Maggie's piece, which sort of an art history piece in grayscale of the deific hand pointing over at something. So your choice. Hard to make the choice right now, but get in there and cast your vote. And don't forget that if you're in love with one of these paintings, you can have it shipped to you. All you have to do is place a bid there at the auction. All four of our final round paintings have bids now. As people are taking time to vote and look at their phones, they're looking in there in the auction, and there's a lot of love for these pieces. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the highest bid is tonight. Right now, the highest bid is on Maggie's second round piece. So it's very interactive. You can participate in more than one way. So thank you for joining us. Stick with us here. We're going to have the announcement of the winner in probably about, things are moving pretty quick tonight, but I'd say it's going to be a total of 10 minutes after the final was over before we're going to find out. We'll get all the votes counted and find out who the winner is. So,
And we are
very exciting night.
And we're finding out, we're getting messages coming in from headquarters here that the votes are super tight, neck and neck at this point. So definitely don't sleep on voting. If you're thinking, I don't really feel like it, it doesn't really matter. It super matters. It super matters. Get your votes in, because your vote could mean the difference.
Your vote could mean the difference. It is very close, as we knew it would be. 4 amazing painters here in the final round, and they all brought it. And it is a very hard choice. We are hearing that the vote is within, from top to bottom, within 2 votes from the first place to the 4th place right now. So get your vote in there. Your vote counts right now. So hard to say. I want to see any one of these painters in Texas right now. They've earned it. They've done such an amazing job. It is too bad, but we can only take one from each city or region, and picking the winner is the name of the game here at Art Battle. So get your vote in right now. We're going to find out who the winner is going to be, and we're going to find out soon. But the votes are so close, we're going to have to wait for every last vote to be cast.
Get them in, get them in, get them in. Let's check out the auction, and we can look at the overview of all of the gorgeous pieces that we've had tonight.
All right, excellent. You put that up on the screen right now?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. Let's have a look.
So right now we are looking at the second round pieces. Ananda's first round was just beautiful, so bright and vibrant, and just also with so many subtleties in it, really, really earned her spot into the final. And now we've got the final round pieces up on the screen that we just saw. And the photo capture of David's is so interesting because it's on the photo of it. It's still on the table that he was working on. So you're getting the paint cascading all over the table and continuing the painting beyond it just being in canvas.
Can you imagine what his studio looks like?
I hope it's plasticed off.
It must just look like an atomic bomb went off.
Oh,
there,
man.
for sure.
Yeah, total color cataclysm there.
Very little paint on his clothes, though. I gotta say that he is not just fluid, but he's also very tidy, too. He hasn't got much paint on his clothes, so that's quite impressive.
Good on him. And also another favorite of the night was Bret's piece that's on screen now. Just a lot of really cool movement happening in there.
Yep, the bidding is up to $155 for Bret's piece.
Nice.
A very cool piece. On any other night, might have made it to the final, but tonight we saw one painting from Bret, but he did a really great job. We're still seeing a high bid of $450, and that is on Maggie's space dog, who we have nicknamed Astro.
So good. Oh man, I love her sense of humor. And sometimes art can be a little bit too serious. So it's really wonderful having the Maggies of the artist world to bring us into a little bit more of a fun space.
Absolutely. It's just so cute. She's got a little alien on there. I mean, and a dog in space. And that, I mean, we talk about Narvicto in reality, but you know that Maggie stayed within reality there because we have, as a species, we have put dogs in space before. So I don't know if it was that type of dog, but definitely the Russians sent up dogs early on in the space race. So that's pretty cool. I don't think that's what she intended, but a little bit of a history lesson here right now.
Yeah, and then the art historical reference in her final one. Getting history lessons from Maggie tonight.
Absolutely, for sure. She's definitely got a quite a background in art, and such different people from her that's like so whimsical and then so serious. It's just so interesting the way that it's approached and shown us so much.
Another favorite of the night for me was Kenard Smith. That portrait was so subtle and soulful.
Yeah, it's a really interesting piece and well executed. And again, his choices of color, it's sort of muted. It's almost like it's a black and white photo, yet there's color in there. It's really cool.
Yeah, and such a beautiful just attitude. Yeah. Oh man, I gotta say, I love championship season because we just get to see the cream of the crop, and I'm just so impressed with everybody that painted tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it is the events through the season are so great. We get to meet so many new painters and see so much awesome variety of creation. And then once we get to championships, and we see the ones who perform the best painting again, and painting with a lot on the line. I just love championship season too. This is very exciting. And if you're still with us now, we're going to let you know that the next championship event is this Wednesday night, and in 48 hours from now, just under 48 hours, we're going to be having the Southeast Regional Championships. That's events representing cities in Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina. That event is happening entirely online, and we need you to watch and vote in that event so that you can help us choose who's going from that region to the national championships. Again, that's going to be Wednesday. I think the start time is 8 p.m. And again, we're going to have that entirely online, our Southeast Championship. That's our next one. The next one after that is going to be Wednesday the 16th. We're going to see the San Francisco region city finals. We just have so much representation from across the country. It is really awesome to see so many artists and regions represented. And one thing that we can say is that everywhere we go, we see unique talents, and it's really cool.
Yeah, that's going to be a mega exciting event because we'll also be seeing, so because we're doing that one just online, we're going to be seeing video coming from the artist studios. So I always love getting a little glimpse into an artist's working space. So I think that'll be a fun element to that event as well.
And very interesting to have the artist painting in their studio and setting up and working on their own time. Of course, they record those videos of them painting in 20 minutes, and they can take their time, set up the way that they want. They have the paint they want. They have the space that they want. So it's really interesting to see that. It varies a little bit from the live painting experience, but we thought that this was the best way to bring together. We had so many different towns and cities represented that this was the best way to bring it together. So please join us. That's on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. Tell your friends that there is a free online art battle and that the online votes count for everything on Wednesday. We see the audience right now. We can still have a peek into the Mighty Squirrel Brewing Company. We see a lot of photographs being taken of this artwork. We see a lot of social media shares. If you want to share your pics, of course you're watching online, so you're not taking pics of that. But if you want to follow along the pics that are being shared, you can check out #ArtBattle. And of course, this whole event will be summarized on Art Battle Boston Instagram, which is at Art Battle Boston. So it'll be very interesting. And again, we are counting down the minutes here. The votes are coming in. The voting is very tight. We don't know who's going to win. We're waiting for all the votes to be cast to find out who's going through from tonight's exciting final round, who's going to be flown to Texas to take part in the national championships.
Ooh, an exciting night for sure. I'm sure that the final round artists are just biting their nails right now.
Oh, now is a very tense time for them. It is. They get the sort of the juxtaposition of being relieved that their work is done, but of course, just waiting to find out if they are the Boston champion for 2022, if they are going to be going to paint again, if they're going to have to spend all month practicing to compete against the best painters from across the country. So yeah, there's a lot on their mind right now. And I mean, we are in a brewery here, so they're probably taking the edge off with a beer. I think that's probably
celebratory drink. And
that's the prescription right now. So,
and of course, as I remember, like from any time that I'd made it to the finals, people want to talk to you after the final round is finished, and you're not able to actually fully listen to them because one ear is pricked up for the winner announcement, so that you don't miss it.
Absolutely, for sure. We see Ananda is posing right now with her painting. She's posing for a photograph. She's earned it. I hope that she gets lots of attention to her Instagram and to her studio work. I hope all of these painters benefit from the experience, and they usually do, gaining so many more eyes on their work right now. We're hearing from Art Battle headquarters that the voting is within one vote right now.
Oh, man.
It is within one vote. So if you have not voted, please vote right now. Your vote counts. Your vote counts so much for choosing who's going through. And again, such an amazing night. We know that Art Battle works. We know that the best painters make it through to the final round. And we know that the best painting wins the final round. But when there's more than one best painting, it can be tough to choose.
Yeah, that's where the real challenge lies. I think sometimes it can be really obvious which painting is the best one in a round, but I would say that this is a pretty tight final.
This is a very tight final. It's hard to say which painting is the best painting here. I mean, everybody's got their...
and the votes are reflecting that, too. It is a tight final.
It is a very tight final, and that's, I think, one thing that, I said right before we started, this is going to be a tight final. These four painters are all so very different and so very talented that we are going to see some outstanding paintings that you can't believe were painted in a short amount of time in front of an audience. I mean, these look like studio works. They're just so refined. These painters and their craft is so honed at this point that any one of them could go through to the final. They've all been practicing. They've all earned it. and we're going to see here which painter gets to go to Wichita Falls, Texas, to take part in the national championships. We know that from Washington State, Cameron McCool is going. He won the Washington State finals on Saturday night with just some incredible work. We saw such incredible work all night long in Washington State finals, which took place in Seattle. That event was sold out, just like this event was sold out here tonight. So we see so much excitement from our audiences at finals time. We see people come to different events through the season, but everybody wants to be present at the final, and we are seeing that love and support for live art through our attendance numbers and our auction numbers here in championship season. So exciting! We've got so many championships yet to go. I just can't wait to watch all of these finals and to be watching the national championship after having watched all of the finals, and to know each of the painters and to know what to expect from them and who the favorites are is going to be quite amazing. Again, we are looking at the auction. The auction is still live for all 3 rounds. We have bids. All 4 of the final round paintings have multiple bids on them. Right now, Narvicto's is at $150, David's is at $120, and Nanda's is at $95, and Maggie's at $105. We have some good auction prices here tonight. That puts money in the pockets of the painters and rewards them a little bit for their time. But the real reward is just the experience of and the networking value of Art Battle. These artists get to meet so many other artists and get to see their other styles and have conversations and communications with them and follow each other on social media. We have so many friendships and creative partnerships come out of Art Battle.
Oh yeah, I love seeing the artists just bond. It really is a huge community movement. Once Art Battle comes into a city, like there's already obviously art communities in all of these different cities, but one thing that's cool about Art Battle is that artists from all different areas of those communities come together. So it kind of takes all these little pockets and cliques of people that are used to hanging out together and then brings them into this new environment, and you get to meet so many new people. You get to be exposed to different art styles.
Yeah, it's really very cool. It creates a community, and it communities that are already there. So it is an exciting way. If you are watching and you are an artist and you are thinking of participating in Art Battle, hopefully there's an Art Battle near you. But you can apply at artbattle.com. It's very easy. Send us your samples of studio work to fill out some information and to apply to be one of the Art Battle painters. We are at the end of this season, just in the championship rounds, but we'll be starting up the new season really soon. So hopefully we will be able to see many new artists as we do every year. And every event we see more and more new artists, and it's just the best part of Art Battle is seeing so many different styles, so many different artists. All right, are we getting any closer to the final here? I don't know if if more votes have been cast or not, but it is so close right now. It is almost tie for the championship. It is just so close. All right, hang with us here. We're just finding out what's going on at the venue here. We're hearing different things from our Art Battle headquarters and from the venue. So we're going to find out what is going on and who is the winner. We don't know yet. We can't announce that. We will find out very soon who's going through to the national championships. The auction is still open. Have a look in there. If you see something that you love, place a bid. There's lots of paintings. Most of the paintings have multiple bids, but there's still a lot of deals to be had for those paintings. So don't be shy. We will ship the painting to you wherever you are. All right, we are hearing that the winner has been decided by the votes, and the announcement is coming in. The announcement is coming very soon. We're going to find out who's going through. The lead has changed many times as the votes come in. Almost all the painters have been in the lead at some point.
Yeah, it's been really neck and neck.
It's been really neck and neck. We are going to find out. We're going to find out who the winner is. Just stay with us here. We're going to announce it, and hopefully we're going to see the winner on screen and have another look at the paintings. We're just going to find out in a few moments who the winner is. This is one of the closest votes that we have ever had. 3 paint within one vote of each other, so it is extremely tight. We have a lot of people watching with us online. Hope you're still there. Sure you are, as you want to find out who the winner is. Thanks for sticking with us. And we're going to just be ending off this night in Boston with the announcement of the winner. So stick with us again. If you enjoy watching Art Battle online, please join us 2 nights from now on Wednesday night for an all-online Art Battle Championship event. That is the Southeast Regional Final. Will be taking place entirely online, and so we need you to vote in that event to help us choose our representative for our national championships. There, we have national championships going on all month long. One night to look out for is St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. We have the New York City Finals. Yeah.
Gonna throw to venue audio. I believe that we're getting our...
Okay, great. Perfect.
Your announcement is imminent. Just enjoying our organizers' costumes here. We have a green Care Bear and a black rainbow unicorn.
Where do they get all these costumes from? They are in different costumes every event.
I know. I'd be really interested to see their closets.
All right, we are going to go to the venue now for the announcement of the winner.
The first winner of our Battle Boston City Championship is Girl Artist. Dave Edmundson.
And there we have it. The winner has been announced. It is David Edmundson. Will be heading on over to the national championship.
So exciting. Wow, what a finish. Such an incredibly close vote, and David has come out on top with a couple of last-minute votes in his favor, and he is going to be taking his pour painting techniques to the national championship. Wow, what an event we're going to have down there. Such different style to add to it, too. I'm very pleased to see that we're going to have a great representation for Boston at the national championships.
Oh, absolutely. And a really interesting technique to be bringing to the nationals. I feel pretty certain that he will be the only one doing that.
I think that he is. I mean, we have seen the event winners in all the other cities, so we know who's going into the championship events. And I don't think that we do have another pour painter in the championship event, so he's very likely to be the only one.
I think we might be getting a little artist interview here.
Oh, awesome.
That was David on the mic, just thanking the crowd for sending him to nationals.
So exciting. So exciting. I bet you he's going to be practicing. I mean, he's obviously an expert already, but he's going to be practicing this month in advance, probably working on some new techniques to bring to the national championship. Just so exciting to have him there.
Absolutely.
And a big shout out to all of our painters tonight. We have 12 amazing painters, and we want to give our appreciation for all of the amazing skill and courage that we saw tonight from all 12 of our painters. Of course, our 4 finalists who all earned it with their first and second round paintings earned their way into the final. And then just a neck and neck race down to the wire here in Boston. And David Edmundson comes through as the winner.
So good. So good. All right, I believe... oh, is he back on the mic again? Let's see.
My family, my friends, everybody that supported me, that voted for me, thank you so much. Put down without you guys. Thank you.
And actually, you can go to artbattle.com/vote, and you can watch the stream, David painting, and you can place a vote for the Boston representative. We do have, I might have mentioned earlier, we do have another Boston representative who won the Washington State Championship on Saturday.
All right. Well, what an incredible event tonight. Thank you so much to everyone who has been watching with us and voting with us and supporting all of these wonderful artists tonight in their display of courage and creativity. A big shout out to our on the ground team in Boston for organizing and executing a fine season in Boston. And a wonderful city championship. We are so proud to be involved in our community there. And lastly, thank you, Chris, for being my wonderful co-host tonight.
Thanks, Morgan. Thanks for hosting these events, and I look forward to seeing you and hearing you